By scaling these solutions globally, partnering with international institutions and private sector leaders, we want to empower the next generation of trade tech entrepreneurs and connect them with investors, logistic companies, and global trade leaders. We aim to facilitate regulatory collaborations to ensure the widest possible adoption of trade tech solutions. And this is why we are here today. Ladies and gentlemen, TradeTech Forum is not only a platform to incubate ideas, it is equally about encouraging collective action. The conversation we have today will inform the digital trade policies and solutions of tomorrow. To ensure trade isn't left behind, but it is in fact at the forefront of this exciting new world. The UAE remains committed to transforming global trade into interconnected digital ecosystem. So let's work together to unlock the full potential of trade tech and create a future where trade is smarter, faster, and more accessible for all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for the inspiring words. Then it's my privilege to welcome and introduce to you Ms. Joanna Hill, Deputy Director General of the World Trade Organization. We all know that much of the world's prosperity is thanks to the WTO and its rules and coalitions. Please welcome Ms. Joanna Hill.
Good morning, everyone. Vice Minister, Secretary General, it's a pleasure to be here this morning in Abu Dhabi, a city that doesn't just participate in trade, but really aspires to shape its future. And few places capture the energy and ambition of a trade-driven innovation like this one. We are very happy to be here during MC13 in Abu Dhabi, where a lot of progress was made. And so for me, the city embodies digital infrastructure, forward-looking policy, and global cooperation, which can come together to accelerate progress. Let me start by extending a sincere thank you to the organizers of the TradeTech Forum, the UAE Ministry of Economy, and the World Economic Forum, bringing together experts in digital technologies, logistics, and trade, which provides a timely setting to reflect on the intrinsic relationship with trade and innovation. I recognize that we are meeting in a very difficult time, and it's in times like these when the trade landscape keeps shifting and uncertainty looms large. This is the kind of vision that the moment demands. It is a pivotal moment. Technology is no longer just supporting trade, it is really redefining it. The container was once the symbol of globalization. I think now we might also add the symbol of the cloud, because trade now moves at the speed of light, not just across oceans, but through fiber optic cables, data centers, and digital platforms. It is in this new area that trade is not only longer about goods, it is also about data, it is about services, it is about the algorithms that connect them. So I think it's very important that we are aware that the choices that are made today about governance, about access, and about innovation will shape how trade technologies impact people of tomorrow. So will AI and emerging technologies widen global divides, or can they serve as bridges of opportunity and resilience? And let me share just two core ideas that guide my thinking along this area, both grounded in the belief that trade and technology, when aligned thoughtfully, can really be a force for good. First, innovation in trade is no longer about efficiency. It's really about transformation. Real breakthroughs reset the playing field. You know, the steam engines didn't just speed up trade, they shifted industrial power. Today, AI, blockchain, and the Internet of Things have a great transformative potential. They are not tools at the margins. They are really becoming the foundation of the new comparative advantages, redefining how we think about products, services, and markets. So let's think about advanced agricultural sensors, just for an example. I come from a farming background. My family owned a coffee plantation and a coffee mill. And I know how hard farming can be. And these advanced technologies allow farmers in rural regions to monitor soil health, forecast weather patterns, and optimize crop yields with precision. And when connected to global markets via digital platforms, this technology allows small-scale farming to transform from subsistence to much and beyond. Last year, the WTO Secretariat published a report diving deep into these and other critical questions about the impact of AI on trade. And the report shows that AI could boost global trade growth by nearly 14 percentage points through the year 2040. And these numbers are not just a projection. They really represent concrete opportunities for WTO members. The gains will come to those who harness tools wisely and cooperatively, who prepare their workforce, update digital infrastructure, and foster agile and forward-thinking regulation. But I think it's important to also keep clear-eyed. The benefits of technology cannot be taken for granted, and some countries may share the gains more so than others. History has shown us that every technological leap has come with some or a lot of disruption. The steam engine catalyzed the Industrial Revolution, but also displaced traditional sectors of the economy. And this really brings me to the second point I'd like to make this morning. Trade must be more than fast, right? It should be fair, and it should be future-ready. And that means ensuring all economies have the chance to benefit from technological progress, especially developing and least developed countries. The world should not afford the creation of a new digital divide on top of existing inequalities. The digital economy should not be one where only the connected wins. And this brings me to the multilateral trading system. I believe it has a vital role to play, and the trade rules already support tech diffusion. Let me give you a few examples. The WTO agreement, Information Technology Agreement, has helped eliminate tariffs on ICT products. The General Agreement on Trade and Services promotes areas and openness like telecom and computing. And the TRIPS agreement supports the balance between protecting innovation and enabling diffusion. The moratorium on customs duties on electronic transmissions, which gets renewed at every ministerial conference, has been really a major catalyst for digital trade. It has helped propel trade growth in digitally delivered services exports, which have increased fourfold since the year 2005. Between the year 2015 and 2022, the share of middle-income countries in digital services exports increased 24%. At the same time, this is an area where low-income countries continue to struggle. The deep engagement of WTO members in the work program on e-commerce is a testimony to the importance they attach to issues around digital trade and transformation in areas such as digital infrastructure, regulatory frameworks, and AI and emerging technologies. Moreover, 71 of our members support adoption of robust rules on e-commerce, as reflected in the recently stabilized agreement text. If this agreement is included in the WTO rulebook, these provisions could become a milestone towards comprehensively regulating digital trade, further unlocking its growth potential. Transparency and interoperability are key to fostering trustworthy AI governance, as we learned, for instance, from the G20 AI principles. The WTO framework supports these principles not only by supporting and promoting transparency, but also by encouraging its members the use of international standards in technical regulations. And countries could and are going further. WTO members are already cooperating in areas related to technology transfer, fostering an innovation-friendly environment, and supporting connectivity infrastructure. Other international organizations are developing targeted capacity building to support regulatory frameworks, cybersecurity, and skills development. Sharing technology alone will not move the needle if there is no capacity to absorb it. The WTO is helping coordinate this effort. Another example, which I wanted to bring to your attention, which is important to creating an enabling environment to adopt technology, is the Investment Facilitation for Development Agreement. This agreement is supported by 2/3 of the WTO membership, and it seeks to streamline investment flows, improve transparency, and creating business environment that attracts technology and know-how in developing countries. And that's trade working in service to broader development goals. Equally important is ensuring the participation of micro, small, and medium enterprises. MSMEs represent the vast majority of businesses worldwide, yet relatively, they face more barriers to digital trade integration. Simplifying customs procedures, improving access to e-payment systems, and building digital literacy are essential steps towards their inclusion. And this is where other agreements, such as the WTO Trade Facilitation Agreement, already has made significant progress in this front by promoting, among others, the digitalization of customs procedures and systems and reduction of red tape. So, as I'm trying to say in other words, this really cannot be a solo effort. And the work that we're already doing with international organizations needs a broader partnership from other partners, from industry, academia, and civil society. So it's also remember that technological progress is not simply a matter of code, hardware, software. It's really a matter of trust. And the deployment of AI in trade, in logistics optimization, customs operations, predictive analytics raises serious questions about transparency, bias, and accountability. So I think one of the questions that we can ask ourselves today is not what will the future of trade look like, but really what kind of future do we want to work for in terms of trade. So I thank you very much for your attention and look forward to continuing the conversation.
Thank you so much, Johanna. Great to have you with us today. As all of us know, is that that a lot of the world's future growth will come true and in Africa. And I don't think the next speaker will need an introduction, but it's a great honor to tell you about the next speaker, His Excellency, Mr. Wamkele Mena, Secretary General of the African Continental Free Trade Area. The floor is yours, Secretary General.
Thank you very much, Mr. Program Director, Minister, Madam DDG, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to join you this morning for this important discussion. I'm honored to be part of this discussion, focusing on the transformative potential of technology, particularly in respect of driving trade. By embracing technology and digital transformation, the continent of Africa has the potential to significantly boost intra-Africa trade, drive economic growth, accelerate industrial development, and achieve meaningful market integration. Leveraging technology not only empowers our economies, particularly small medium enterprises and youth entrepreneurs, but also unites our continent towards a prosperous future. Digital technologies can empower African countries to address and potentially overcome the numerous political and economic challenges that confront the business environment and inhibit cross-border trade. The technological advancement that is upon us aligns with Africa's ambition for sustainable development, regional integration of our markets, as set out in the objectives of the AFCFTA. As a continent, we stand on the brink of a transformative future where we boldly embrace innovation and cutting-edge technologies. Intra-Africa trade, as we all know, remains low. However, where we deploy technology and where we deploy emerging technologies in particular, such as artificial intelligence, enabling cross-border trade through payments platforms, as well as enabling the movement of data across our borders, the combined effect of deploying technologies for trade holds great potential for boosting intra-Africa trade. The AFCFTA is well poised to redefine the economic landscape of the African continent. According to estimates by the World Bank, full implementation of the AFCFTA is set to boost incomes on the continent by over 9% by the year 2035 and lift 50 million Africans out of abject poverty and moderate poverty. Therefore, enhanced connectivity and digital platforms can reduce costs by up to 25%, expand market access for small medium enterprises, youth entrepreneurs, and foster inclusivity across sectors. The digital ecosystem on our continent is rapidly growing, empowered by technological giants that are indigenous to the continent, but also those who have invested in Africa's digital infrastructure. This growing tech sector, in our view, is more than just a job creator. It is a catalyst for Africa's growth in a competitive global marketplace. We have seen this in countries such as South Africa, Nigeria, Morocco, Kenya, and others, where the embracement of technological solutions by local businesses in particular has resulted in cross-border opportunities and in increased market access. For this reason, the AFCFTA has recently adopted the Protocol on Digital Trade, the first of its kind around the world, which presents a comprehensive set of provisions for market access, regulatory harmonization, and for ensuring that we have inclusivity in digital technology. With a particular focus on emerging technologies, this protocol establishes a formidable legal framework designed to facilitate and promote the ethical and responsible adoption of cutting technologies, including artificial intelligence. In addition, the protocol introduces regional and continental regulatory sandboxes specifically for emerging technologies. These dynamic environments are crucial for facilitating cross-border data exchanges, driving the development, deployment, and governance of AI technologies, and fostering cloud computing innovations. In the adoption of the Protocol on Digital Trade, much has been achieved, but of course, much more remains to be done. There remains a significant gap in the data ecosystem. Africa accounts for less than 2% of the world's collation data centers, according to the Africa Data Centers Association. This demonstrates Africa's reliance on data centers outside of the African continent. The deficit and the establishment of only 2% of the world's collation data centers on the continent, while on the face of it may appear to be a deficit, is also an opportunity. inadequate capacity to meet Africa's growing AI and digital services demand is a challenge, but it is also an opportunity. It's an opportunity for the continent to expand Africa's digital economy through the AfCFTA protocol, enhance investment opportunities by creating the space for foreign and local investors to invest in Africa's digital economy, particularly the infrastructure that is required to drive Africa's digital economy. Let me conclude by noting that in the establishment and the implementation of the protocol on digital trade, the continent of Africa deploys technology not as an end in itself, but deploys technology for economic development. Once again, I want to thank all of you for your attention, and I want to congratulate the World Economic Forum, as well as TradeTech and AIM for convening this session today. I thank you very much. Thank you.